Twitch ready.
Uh, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1,
Twitch
and you're
ready.
live.
And good evening and welcome to Distant Radio 3205. And tonight I'm here. By the way, I'm Henka and I'm here with Dr. Nagi
Hello.
and Eoraptor,
Hello.
and that Michael is handling the radio actually. And
Yes,
tonight's guest, Commander Rusty Dog, welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me, guys. Pleasure.
It's good to have you. So let's start with formal questions. Tell me or tell to the people at the distant worlds, who is Commander Rusty Rock?
Oh, wow. Well, I am I played the original Elite Dangerous in 1984. Played that on the Spectrum, and
That's not surprising.
no,
The first one.
yeah, I played it on the Spectrum. I know it came out for the BBC Micro at first, but yeah, I played that, and I didn't play it a lot, but I did spend. I remember getting quite deeply involved with it, being impressed with the scale of it and everything, and then I went to I think it was one of the crowdfunding pages one day, and I saw this Elite Dangerous was going to be resurrected, and I thought, oh my god, they're going to bring Elite back, and I thought I definitely want a piece of this pie, and so immediately I got involved with that and got myself into the game, and I played it for about a year, and somebody suggested that I should start putting videos out, because I was being on some of their videos, and I should make some of my own, and I was pretty much not into that because I don't like the sound of my own voice.
Nobody does.
No, I know, it's ironic,
Yes,
and then
that is true.
yeah, it's weird.
I hate my voice.
Exactly. I play my own voice back, and I just think, oh God, I hate this. I wish I'd said something else, and But yeah, I just thought, well, I'll just go ahead anyway and do it and see what happens. So I put a couple of videos out without any voice at all, and then I started talking, and it kind of just blossomed from there. I started getting subscribers, just a little bit, and then it just really kind of blossomed over, and I've been doing that for like 3.5 years now, and I never imagined. I mean, I've only got 4,500, nearly 4,600 now, which is small compared to a lot of other like the prominent YouTubers, but I'm really quite proud of that achievement, really. So yeah,
but
just
the one main difference between your YouTube videos and your streams is that you like to do very long streams. 3 hours, 4 hours, 5, or even 6 hours you have done.
Yes, yeah.
So compared to most of the streamers who it's only like 1 hour or half an hour.
It's terrible. Yeah, you notice that. Well, yeah, I mean, when I used to do what I call my offline videos, or my pre-recorded ones, they'd last about an hour and a half or something. And I don't know, I guess sometimes it's because maybe I go into too much detail, and because I have had comments on my videos saying, "Oh, you've taken an hour to do a video for something you could have explained in 10 minutes." And it's probably true. It's probably completely true. Mm-hmm. But the difference with me is I just tend to go into detail. So I try and let the people who are watching see how I'm experiencing things.
Yeah.
So they, you know what I mean? It's like if I make mistakes, then they'll know to avoid those mistakes. Like I won't. Let's say, if I'm going to do something new in the game, I won't try it out first to see if it's if it works or if it's any good. I'll wait till I do the stream and then I'll just jump straight in, because I want to give that first-hand experience out onto the stream. Does that make sense? And then I got into the live streaming, and the problem with the live streams is time passes so fast, especially when you're interacting with others. Because if I'm just doing my own video, I can maybe record 2 or 3 hours of footage, but then I'll edit it down into maybe, a lot shorter video. Take out the bits I don't want, the boring parts, and I'll just put it out there. But on a live stream, you can't do that. It's all live, and you've got people in the chat, which I'm interacting with, and I get so much more out of that. It's so much fun for me to interact with these guys, and I've got a great audience as well. I have to say that, and I find that 3 hours is gone in no time. So for me, it feels like an hour of normal gameplay. I just don't feel the time, and I am very what's the word? Conscious. I'm very conscious of the length of my streams, and maybe that's affecting, people subscribing or whatever. I don't know, but this is, you take me as you find me. I suppose this is how I do my thing, and
and
I know.
I think it's funny. Like it's become like common joke when you start to stream. People are saying like, "How about an hour today?"
I do try. Yeah.
Also, one thing I have noted when I have listened to your streams, you say almost every time that you don't have a lot of time tonight. Every night it goes like 4 to 5 hours.
Yeah, that's true.
So
No, that is true. I do that. I do have this mental limit in my head to try and just. If I think maybe 3 hours would be good for a live stream, and it's not too much and it's not too little. I think. Yeah, 3 hours. I don't know. Maybe 2 hours is probably more sensible, but.
Mostly I get exhausted after 2 hours of doing live stream.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know why, but
no, I don't know. I guess I'm used to it now.
Could be from the lack of interaction sometimes. Like I said, time is going fast when you have a lot of interaction with your viewers.
Sure. Yeah. I try and be as interactive with the chat as I possibly can. I try and answer as many comments as possible. Same as when people leave comments on my videos, I try and answer everything, because I think if people are taking the time out to come and listen to you and spend their free time, especially that amount of time which I put in, then it's only fair that I should give back some of my attention to them while I'm playing the game.
Yes, and as a very active listener of Rusty's videos, I can confirm that Rusty does answer to all his questions in his YouTube chat.
I find doing that is as important as playing the game, because it's a stream. You've got people there with you, maybe 50, 60 people, and I try and put as much importance to interacting with them as I do actually playing the game itself. Sometimes I'll even pause playing the game, and I'll sit in a station for half an hour and just be engaged with chat, and before I even get the stream underway. It's crazy.
Also, one particular thing in your videos I really love is Rusty Rambles.
Oh yeah,
I love those so much when you get the stuff out of your system and let it out.
Now and again now and again I have something like a pet peeve or something which happens in the game, but it's all, and then I feel like I have to vent it. The latest one, of course, was my dislike of the passive scanning thing in the game, which I thought was a bad move. But I've kind of got used to it now, and I just have to let that die, because Frontier clearly don't see it as a thing.
The recording bot just died.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw that.
Does that mean we're not live?
No,
we are still
live on the radio.
It's just
I see you're recording.
Now
yeah,
recording.
Yeah, we're back.
Okay.
So yeah, about your rambles.
Yeah, the rambles. So yeah, so yeah, whenever I've got stuff to vent about, I'll give my opinion across, and yeah, but I haven't done one for a while, which is probably a good thing, because that means that things must be going okay. But I have thought about doing rambles videos that are not Elite Dangerous related, but I don't know how that would go across. Maybe pet peeves and annoyances in just general life. But I don't know. I think maybe if I go off the topic of Elite Dangerous, maybe people don't want to hear what annoys me in real life. So, but then again, I'm sure I can come across with a lot of examples, and people are going to say, "Oh yeah, me too,"
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
but I don't know. But yeah, there's the I tend to go off on one, and I did a while ago do a very naughty thing. I don't know if you guys know about that. I went a bit rogue.
Yeah.
I went and became somebody I didn't like. It was all that quince. That was one of my rambles. I think one of my first ones was the quince system, because it had so many exploits in that one system. And Frontier just seemed to be sat back with their arms folded, not doing anything about it. They did eventually, though. They did sort it all out and get it all sorted.
Exploits?
The exploits, well, there was one where there was 2 tourist beacons in that one system, and you could take a mission from that station in Quince, and all you had to do was visit the tourist beacon in that particular system. So
yeah, it's the
but
good old famous.
That kind of thing, yeah.
Yeah, but the bug or the exploit was that you may have half your passengers wanting to go to tourist beacon A, and the other half want to go to tourist beacon B, and you only had to visit one of them, and everybody was satisfied, which was a big bug, because that's like getting in a taxi and someone saying, "Take me to this street," and you want to go to a different street, and then he takes you to a different place, and you get out and say, "Thanks very much." It just doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
There was that, and then of course there was the missions where you got rewarded before you got back to the station. So you would fly your Sidewinder down to the planet, scan the data beacon or whatever it was, and then you'd get your reward then. And because you didn't have to fly back to pick up your reward, which it should have been, people were blowing up their Sidewinders to get back quicker so they could do the mission again and keep building up that way. I didn't like it. So I made my views clear on it. But when I'm rambling and criticizing the game, it's only because, I have a passion for the game, and I don't want to see it fail or get a bad image. That's all it's for.
The only exploit I used was back last year in January, February. There was a system that was sending out passenger missions, the bulk passenger ones. And you had to go to a neighboring system with a station 1.6 million light seconds away, and you could get 20 million per mission. It wasn't really a bug there. It was just ridiculously high payouts.
That's right. I remember that. Was that RIA? Was that the RIA system one?
No, that was LTT 96 something.
Right.
The station was called Smirton Orbital.
Oh yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
I did it also.
Yeah, getting ridiculously quick, ridiculously rich, ridiculously quickly, I think is.
Yeah, and the best part of it was you could basically watch this series on the second monitor, because you started your flight and then it's 45 minutes of doing nothing.
Taking a
Right.
film or something like that. Or
Yeah.
take a drink.
So what Commander Rusty Dog is doing at the moment in Elite?
Right now, I am doing Distant Worlds 2.
So you are on Distant Worlds 2?
I am, yeah, because I missed the first one.
Oh, you were... I have some sort of recollection that I would have seen you at Distant Worlds 1.
No, I didn't take part. I mean, it was something I would have liked to have gone on, but I for some reason I didn't go. I'm not quite sure why it was. I just said to myself, I'll never mind. I'll catch the next one. Little did I know it would be so many years down the line. But look at the difference. Yeah, and it's I think the first one had, what was it, 1,100 commanders? Yeah, and now we have like almost
or something
yeah,
like that.
and now it's like 13,000, which is crazy. It's almost 13,000, I think it is now, which is nuts. But it's been so well organized, so well put together. So I thought, well, I'm going to go on this one, and I do have a second account. A second Elite Dangerous account. I've got 3, in fact. But on my second account, I'm already out near Sagittarius A, so I thought maybe I'll just wait till Distant Worlds gets up to Sagittarius A and then just join on from there. And then I changed my mind and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go with the Rusty Dog account. I'm gonna go with that one.
But now you're gonna meet with yourself.
I can do, yeah. On the way to Waypoint.
You can actually start 2 accounts at a time, and you can play with yourself. Well,
Pardon?
That didn't come out right.
No. I think what I might do is try and meet myself in the same instance and just ram myself to destruction. Now that sounds bad as well, but yeah, no, I'm gonna, I'll just ram my second account ship, and but then I'm going to lose all my exploration data, so maybe I shouldn't do that. But it would be nice. Maybe that's something I can do on my stream is have the 2 accounts meet. That would be cool.
Yeah. I have also 2 accounts, but I have never tried to play with myself.
No, that's probably a good thing. You don't know the pictures I'm getting now. But no, I mean, the only reason I decided to take the Rusty Dog account out for however long it's going to be, 5-6 months or however long it's Distant Worlds 2 is going to be, is because I have a third account which I haven't even started yet. So my idea with the third account is to just start from scratch from the stock Sidewinder with 1,000 credits and start playing the game and maybe help some newcomers to the game on how to get through it from the beginning. So I knew I could come back to that third account if I needed to do some content that wasn't Distant Worlds. Unfortunately, with real life and everything, the only time I've had to put Elite Dangerous content out has been Distant Worlds, because the schedules are quite tight. It's every Sunday you have to be at a different waypoint. It's quite tight. So
yeah, it is, and real life and stuff, and well, I can only do waypoint to another because of real life and other stuff. So,
yeah, I mean,
I was almost going to buy almost third account. I was thinking if I were to buy a third account, I would use it for Iron Man. Have you thought about Iron Man? Meaning you have to reset your account if you do.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, I've heard of people doing that. To this day, I don't know why it's called Iron Man. I don't understand what the relationship between Iron Man. But yeah,
it's a term used in many games actually.
Yeah. It must have come from another game. It's not something I've thought about doing, but it's not something I would shy away from either. I would probably want to give it a go. But that means that if your ship gets destroyed at any point, then you've got to go back to the beginning of the game and start again, right? That's the concept behind that, is?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I have experience now. Obviously, in my Rusty account, I'm triple elite, so I've got plenty of experience there, and I can bring that.
Nice one.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I finished. It was exploration that I did last, ironically.
Really?
Yeah, I had trading first, and then I had combat, and then exploration.
Since you have triple elite, now you can say which one is the hardest. Which one was the hardest to get?
Combat. Yeah, combat, because it takes the most time. I mean, when you can get up to combat deadly, and then to go from deadly to elite takes quite a bit of time. Exploration should have been the easiest one, really, especially now. Back then, at the beginning of the game, you know, when there was no engineers and all that, things were different.
Yeah.
Payouts were different in missions. Everything was different.
I guess the three elites were kind of similar in difficulty and effort required back then.
The what was that?
But the three elites were kind of similar in difficulty
Yeah.
back then, I guess.
Yeah,
And nowadays it's much more easier to get.
I think it
trading.
is. I think it's a lot easier. I mean,
Do you expect combat elite to get easier in the future? Now that the other two are so easy to obtain.
Well, yeah, it's certainly. I mean, I'm trying to think where I was. I think I might have been combat dangerous by the time the engineers were introduced, and of course the engineers changed everything because it meant that the player ships effectively became a little bit overpowered for the NPC ships. You know, I mean, I've got like a fully engineered Corvette now, and there's no, and like I can take on the baddest NPC, and it doesn't even bother me. I don't feel like it's a challenge, and I think the AI needs to be ramped up a little bit. They need or come in a bit more in wings and stuff. But I think it is certainly exploration's easier because now you can just, you know, get into your ship. You don't need a big ship, but just something with a reasonable jump range, like I suppose an Asp Explorer or something, and then just do the road to riches or something.
Nowadays.
Sorry?
You don't even need to get outside the bubble nowadays. You can just map the Earth likes.
Yeah,
you could,
that's
yeah.
it.
I mean,
Actually,
you know, if you get on that road to riches thing, you can come back and you'd be an exploration elite in no time. So it's kind of weird that exploration was the last one for me to get. Trading came first. Just I didn't particularly concentrate on trading, but it just happened because I wasn't rushing through it. I was letting these ranks come as they, you know, as they happened. Basically, I wasn't chasing one and then the other and then the other. But once I got double elite and I needed exploration, I think I was pioneer or something. Whatever the last one is before elite, I was halfway through that. I think it's pioneer, and I thought I need to finish this. And so I did a bit of exploration and came back and finally got it.
do you know why the combat elite is the hardest?
I think it's not. Yeah, it's the time it takes, really, isn't it? And
yeah, but if you think of it, for exploration you have road to riches. Also, they have buffed up the exploration payouts lately.
yeah,
Quite much actually, and for trading nowadays.
trading now you've got
compass.
wing missions, trading wing missions as well, which you
No,
can.
and you have also mining. You can get void
That's right.
opals.
Yeah.
So what do you have for combat? Nothing. You have to do combat the old-fashioned way. So you don't
Yeah.
have you don't have any shortcuts for combat.
No.
Yeah. Also, missions don't give you anything. You really have to get the kills.
Yeah. I mean, I spent so much time in conflict zones and has-res sites, you know, and it just felt like forever. But I think it's the most fun as well. I kind of enjoy combat the most in the game, and I've noticed it now being on Distant Worlds 2, how much I'm missing combat now. But I know that I can whip into my third account if I need to and just start firing away. So.
Mm.
Speaking
of Distant Worlds 2, sorry, Henka. How's the expedition going for you so far?
Good question.
Yeah.
Right. It's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Let's put it that way. Because a lot of people have got this vision of exploration just being boring and, you know, but if you go on an organized trip like this, where the people in the background, the Distant World organizers they've got so much information on tap, and they know good places of interest or points of interest to tell you where to go. There's no boredom there for me. It's because I'm jumping from one point of interest to another, and everyone I've been to so far has just been really good. I've had some amazing. Just on the last stream, on the last stream I've done, I saw my first Lagrange cloud that had storms in it and lightning, and it was amazing.
I
The
still have
light.
to go to that one. I haven't seen it yet.
Just be careful, because I was on the external camera, and as I was venturing in, and I saw the lightning was hitting my ship.
I'm
And
probably gonna launch my fighter and set my ship
yeah,
to
it will.
position.
Yeah, hold position, and then just wait until your fighter gets destroyed, which it will. Because
So which ship did you choose? And why?
right, I chose the Anaconda because jump range. It's basically because you can outfit an Anaconda with so much stuff. Like I have two SRVs. I've got a ship launch fighter. I've got two AFMUs, a top of the range field scoop, cargo, plenty of cargo space, and with all that loaded in, shields, which I have turned off. I only turn them on when I'm landing on a planet, and with all that turned switched on and not switched on, with all that outfitted on the ship, I'm still pushing 72 light year jump range.
But before I go and tell you that Anaconda is quite a dull choice, did you know that you can get all the same with Beluga? Because Beluga has also 11 optional internals.
Yeah, it is. It's huge. But what about jump range? When you've
Well, that's where it gets behind.
Yeah, I've always believed that the Beluga, because of it looks like a big executive class cruiser ship, should have come with a bigger jump range to start with.
But what there's two ships which both has something wrong. Anaconda has something wrong with its mass, and Beluga has something wrong with its maneuverability. It's way too agile in Supercruise.
Yeah, and also the Beluga looks like something that we probably shouldn't mention.
Yeah. Well,
Oh shit!
I don't know who's
100%
who's responsible for that design, but it's kind of blatant to me.
Oh, the girls love the
FF
Beluga.
has actually admitted that they did the math wrong on the Anaconda, but
Really?
they are not fixing it because it got too popular.
Is it? Are you seeing like the mass it's too light for the ship?
Yes.
Oh, right.
It's
Well,
lighter than Friendship, I think.
Anaconda is
I
way
guess
too
because
light.
I think my Anaconda, my exploration Conda, the one I've got on the Distant World strip, I think it's something like, I might be wrong on this, but I think it's something like 730 tons or something like that. Which for a
Well,
ship that size,
Yeah,
you know,
considering it should be the same size as Corvette and the Cutter, it
Yeah.
should have similar jump range.
it's
I
a big
think.
ship, isn't it? It's a big bulky ship. It really is.
So I think Falcon the Lazy used some kind of magical alloys with the Anaconda because it's so
Yeah.
light.
Like they've gone beyond carbon fiber and they're
And
using some kind of
That's the reason why I dislike Anaconda.
right.
Realistic.
No, but in practical terms, though, I think for something as long as Distant Worlds, I think it was a good choice. I mean, I know people are choosing the Crate Phantom as well, which also gives you 70 plus light years. I don't know how many compromises you have to make to get that, though.
My compromise is my Federal Corvette.
Right.
With my Corvette, which has 43 light years of jump range.
That's not bad. That's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I know that there's crazy people out there. They are crazy
Well,
who are going on Distant Worlds
know,
with jump
it's-
ranges like, not
it's
even
funny thing-
reaching 20.
Funny thing,
shit.
3 years ago when Distant Worlds expedition started, we had no engineers and we had no
Right.
Guardian boosters.
That's right. Yeah.
And the best you could have was 33, 34 light year Anaconda. And nowadays people are thinking that you're insane going out there with anything less than 60, 70 light years.
Yeah.
I think that's
I don't
quite
agree.
funny,
I
actually.
think the cutoff is probably like about 40.
And back in Distant Worlds Expedition, I was there at 26 light year Python. And
Wow.
I was going to go with the Python again because I haven't flown it since, I think. And people has with this kind of stuff, people has really short memory. So
Yeah, I mean, look at if I'm not mistaken, I think Dr. Kai, who's one of the arrangers of the Distant Worlds 2, was very early in the game. He was the first guy to go to the other side of the galaxy in
yeah,
a Sidewinder.
yeah.
So this was pre-engineers, pre-everything. So it was
wasn't that Ranger
was it?
in
I
a
don't-
Sidewinder?
Oh,
it was-
yeah, I think might be.
Oh, I've always thought it was Dr. Kai. Maybe. Yeah. I mean, just think of doing that though, and not to forget, back then there was not only there was no engineers and no Guardian booster, of course, but there was no.
Yeah.
But the route plotter only went to 1,000 light years, where now it's 20.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I think that it represents the mankind quite nicely in the game, because now in real life, when you say that back in the 70s we had only 1-liter engines in our car, and people like, you're insane.
Yeah,
So
it's true.
people don't remember what used to be.
Yeah. No,
People
it's
are,
you can you can make that analogy, and yeah, it's very much so.
yeah, as I said, people have really short memories.
Like
of things, so-
or newcomers to the game, they won't know
Because
about what it was like
I
before
have to
engineers
say,
came.
one aspect of the first Distant Worlds, which was big thing for me, was that the jump range brought you challenge. You, with 26 light year range, you had to plot your route with manually
Yes.
the abyss, and it was a real challenge.
Yeah,
But
indeed.
70 light year Anaconda, you don't have any challenge. You can
Yeah.
cross the abyss anywhere you like, and there's no challenge.
No.
And
And
I have my Anaconda, and it's only place where I use my Anaconda is where I go to the very edges of the galaxy. So
yeah, and of
that's
course,
how you
even
need it.
back then there was no synthesis either, right? So you couldn't
Yeah.
synthesize premium.
Actually, we had the synthesis at Distant Worlds 1 because
Oh, it was already there,
yeah,
was it? Okay.
yeah, it was there. Because otherwise I couldn't have reached Beagle Point with my 26.
Yeah, exactly. Because
with
people are
my-
reaching new places now, aren't they? With new jump ranges and
Yeah.
neutron star supercharging and stuff like that. So they can reach places perhaps that they couldn't have reached before.
But yeah, I love to keep a little bit challenge with my ship choice. So,
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely more of a challenge back then, and it was
but yeah, it
Maybe-
was.
How much line jump range do you got now, Henka?
I might be somewhere around 43 light years.
Oh yeah, you can still reach some autos with that.
And I remember one guy before any engineers and Guardian boosters, he went to Sag A with Corvette. He had like
Damn.
18 light years range.
yeah.
So
It's a test of endurance, isn't it? Really.
yeah.
Yeah.
But by the way, Rusty, if you weren't at the first Distant Worlds, what's the furthest you have been out there? What's your longest exploration trip
yeah,
before Distant Worlds 2?
Well, before Distant Worlds 2, I noticed on my stats, it said that I'd been 18,000 light years from start. And
So
initially
that's
I-
almost
yeah, but I couldn't
holy.
remember. I couldn't remember where the hell I'd been. I thought, where was that? But then I remember one time I went on a expedition to the Bubble Nebula, and then I went to Heart and
Ooh.
Soul, and then I ventured out to the edge of the galaxy there. But I don't think that was 18,000. I'm not sure. So I'm not quite sure how I got that. But it was just in the last stream that I did where I've just broken that record now, and I'm at 20,000, I think. So
Yeah.
I've only just
it's
broken.
It's almost to the Colonia.
Yeah.
is like
I don't think I've ever been to Colonia with my Rusty Dog account. I don't recall that at all. But then that doesn't mean I haven't been. That just means my memory's very dodgy.
But
But-
have you been there with your alt account?
Yes, I've been there with my second account. I went to Colonia. I jumped off the Neutron Highway, went to Colonia, and then on to Sagittarius A, and then from there I just went straight upwards to the top of the galaxy as far as I could go.
Nice.
And then I've come halfway back down, and that's pretty much where I am right now on my other account. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna try and meet up with it.
Yeah. Have you been on any Worlds events so far? Have you participated?
Distant Worlds 2 is my first event, the first organized event that I've been on, really.
Yeah, but have you been on any smaller events on Distant Worlds like Canyon Racing or?
Oh, those. No, I haven't. But I have seen a few set up where people have, getting their ship launch fighters out and SRVs and doing some racing on that. But I haven't really had chance to go off on a side venture and do any of those things. I'm too busy trying to catch up, doing all the points of
those
interest.
things are always at the wrong time.
And then I don't know if there's any instancing issues when people are doing all this, because every time I've tried to get a fair-sized group together, there's always instancing issues.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the bugbears of the game. So whether, I know that Frontier talked about some kind of rewrite on the game, so I don't know whether that's to address those issues. That's kind
I
of
read about that.
yeah, that's very curious, very interesting stuff.
Yeah.
So it might be some kind of big rewrite to fix some fundamental issues, and then of course we have this paid content stuff which we don't know anything about yet. So it's a little bit exciting to see what's coming.
I'm sure that we will get to know that during the next few months, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any expectations. I'm not like, oh, we have to have space legs or we have to have atmospheric landings. Because I'm going to set myself up for a disappointment on one of those, I'm sure. But I would like to have atmospheric landings personally. I think that would be.
By the way, that brings me nicely to my next question.
Oh, go for it.
You are one of the few who has the privilege of visiting Frontier developments.
Yes.
I know you can't talk about anything you might have seen there, but how was the visit in general?
It was really good. I went there for two reasons. One, because I said that I was going to be near the area, and I was invited. One of the staff members there said, "Come on down, we'll show you around."
Oh.
And also, I've developed my own voice profile called Sirius, and so the person who did that voice was with me, and she went down there and did a voice audition for them.
Oh.
I don't think it's too problematic to say that it was for the Galnet, one of the Galnet voices.
Nice.
Yeah, and so we arrived at the Frontier Studios, went in, and I got shown around by Zach Antonacci.
Nice.
He showed me around. Really, really nice guy. Give me the full tour. I saw Ed Lewis, had a bit of a conversation with Ed, and Michael Brooks was there at the time.
Nice.
So I was quizzing Michael Brooks.
And there's two names who doesn't, at least Ed Lewis doesn't work at Frontier anymore. But
no,
Michael Brooks doesn't work with Elite no more, I think.
That's right. And Sandro Sammarco, of course, who I saw him. He's a huge guy. He's really tall. It might not look it when he's on one of the Frontier streams, but he's a fairly sized big fella. And then we went upstairs and I saw this big office and I thought, uh-oh, and there was David Braben peeping out from behind the desk.
Ooh.
And it was one of those. It was a bit of a starstruck moment, because it's like, well, geez, this is the guy behind all of it. But he was super
And
friendly.
the first thing you said was blah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I would, if I would see David Braben, the first thing I would get out of my mouth would be like,
Yeah.
bleh.
I know I was wearing my Elite Dangerous beanie hat, my little woolly hat. So that must have impressed him. But I don't think they sell those in the store anymore. I've looked for another one, but I don't think they do
Oh.
them. But I saw David Braben. He was very. Oh, I'll tell you something that happened with David Braben. I was chatting with him, and he's really nice. Honestly, everybody there in Frontier, they're such nice people. They really are. And
I wouldn't expect less.
yeah, and you know what? The impression I got there was how passionate people are with the game. You know, and then I remember there was people at the time saying, "Oh, you know, everyone's working on Jurassic." No, not Jurassic, Planet Coaster. So they're not putting as much effort into Elite Dangerous. And I heard this on the forums a few times, but it wasn't true, because when I went there, they had a completely separate building for Planet Coaster and the upcoming Jurassic World, and Elite Dangerous had its own building, its own developers. So there was no thinning of the herd, if you like. You know.
So if they have more teams, like
Yeah, they've got
a
separate.
team for Elite Dangerous, team for Planet Coaster.
Yeah, that's
different
right.
teams.
It's a separate small dev teams for each game.
Damn.
And also at the time, we'd seen
When Rusty, when was this your visit? 3 years ago?
this
2 years
was in. Let me think. That was probably about February or March 2017, and it was the time when we'd just seen traces of what we now know to be the Thargoids, these flowery shaped kind of things, right? And people were saying, are they Thargoids? No, they're not. I don't think they're Thargoids. And there was an argument going on in forums. You know, there was people saying that they're not Thargoids, they're something else, maybe the Guardians or something, and people saying, yes, they're Thargoids, right? So we didn't really know at the time, because Frontier hadn't confirmed either way what it was. And so David Braben, I'm chatting with David Braben, and he looks at me and he says, have you seen the Thargoids yet?
Oh.
So I said, should you have just said that? And he put his hand over his mouth and he went, oh. And I said, yeah. I said, so now I know that they are indeed the Thargoids. But
So were you excited once
So-
you...
I was, but I knew.
So basically what you're saying is that David Braben spoiled the Thargoids for you.
Yeah, but yes, he did, but in a good way, because
Oh my god.
but it was the thing about it was I couldn't go back and read a forum post saying they're not Thargoids. I couldn't write in there, yes they are, because I'd signed one of the NDAs, so I couldn't say anything at the time.
It's always a difficult thing when you know something and you are not supposed to talk about it, but
Yeah,
you
I know.
want.
I couldn't put my name in any.
No,
I just couldn't. I'm forced to shout out all the information I have seen there. I couldn't put my name into NDA.
well, no, I mean the stuff
just
that I saw now is public knowledge, so I don't think it matters. But I saw the initial screens from HoloMe. I was seeing the commander on the screen being rotated around in the clothes and everything, and yeah, I saw that when I was there. And I think HoloMe didn't appear in the game for a little while after that. And also, I asked I can't remember who it was, but I asked one of the graphic designers. I said, when can we have a Chrome Anaconda? Because they'd done a couple of Chrome skins, and he said, I can show you something. He said, but this is strictly confidential. And I said, okay. So he showed me this concept shot of a Chrome Anaconda, and it just looked gorgeous. The way they had it framed on the shot, it was beautiful. And it was months and months and months and months, and it still hadn't appeared in the Frontier store. And I thought, what is going on? They've clearly got it done, but why aren't they releasing this? It looks so nice. And I couldn't tell anybody that a Chrome Anaconda was coming, but of course it's out now, along with Chrome from most ships, I would say, pretty much all ships.
Yeah.
It was
But
a
you
great
also-
day.
An interesting question for the devs. Well, why did it take so long? Did you ever get an answer to that?
No, I didn't bother asking. I never got back to them on that one. But I
think
was
you
always
should
curious.
have-
Yeah,
You
they must
should
have been
put up
saving it.
one Rusty Ramble there. Why is it taking so long? Why can't you work faster? Why isn't
Yeah. Why
the
does it
game
take so
ready?
long to go from showing me something which looked complete? It wasn't like we've only painted half the ship. They'd done it all, and it looked stunning on the screenshot. And it must have been at least, I don't know, 9 months or something before it showed up. And I thought, wow, what else have they got on the shelf there that's not out yet?
But that was before they moved to the new building. I think
That's
you
right.
should
Yeah,
make a
this
new-
was
you
in
should
the
make a
old
new
building.
visit there now, and
Yeah.
you should make a new visit now there, and you should
Well,
feed us
it's only
inside information.
yeah, it's only what 2.5 hours drive up the road. Maybe I'll contact them. Maybe I'll contact one of the devs, but I'll speak to Paige. I've met Paige before, so yeah. I went to the elite meet. There was an elite meet last year in March, and I went to that, and I met Ed Lewis again.
Did there happen to be a waiter that walked into the road to take a photo?
A waiter?
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe.
She told a story when we were at the Duff Enigma anniversary event.
Yeah. What you mean at the elite meet? You mean?
Yes.
I
think she was talking about that one.
Yeah, I took a waiter. I don't know. I don't recall any waiters there. Perhaps I'm not sure. If it was, I don't recall it. Yeah.
Where she said something like they went to a restaurant and
right.
was a waiter that nearly got run over by a truck when he was about to take that photo.
Yeah, there was some photo outside some bar after the elite meet, but I don't remember which elite meet.
No, I didn't hear about that incident. No, but that was
Well, I have also seen a couple of Frontier employees. I saw them at Gamescom Frontier Meet at 2017, and I saw Ed Lewis and Bo.
Oh yeah.
Merritt,
Yeah.
And I was surprised how short Ed was.
Yeah, Ed. Yeah, I mean, I met him first at his office desk, and then I went up to what they call the green room, which is where Frontier do their live streams from. Yeah. I was in that room, and I was, they had the cameras there, the green screen, and Ed came in and he had to tidy up all the cables. But yeah, he's smaller than me.
Bo was so beautiful. I'm never washing the hand. I shook his hand.
Yeah. No, it was it was fun. I mean, see, I've met Ed twice now, and then I think Will and Paige were at the elite meet as well.
And by the way, talking about Ed, he's now at Bethesda.
Yeah,
oh
indeed.
God, is that where he went?
Yeah, he's the European community lead.
But then I saw Ed's job advertised on the Frontier website, and I thought, should I go for that? I thought, no, they don't want a 52-year-old guy.
I think you should.
I'm too old. I'm too old for that. Yeah, I'm too old. They want somebody young and dynamic, not some broken down old middle-aged guy. Yeah.
You don't know what they want.
They don't want me. I know that.
If they are looking for middle-aged, broken down man.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It'd be a cool job. I mean, it'd be a bit difficult though, because I've just bought a property that's quite a distance away from their offices, so I would have to sell it and relocate, so it'd be a bit awkward. But I think Ed's job was a great job. I thought, you know, if he's leaving, he must be going to an amazing job to leave this one, because there's a lot of. I would be happy waking up in the morning to come to that job that Ed was doing. I think I'd quite like to do that. Yeah. My only downside to that is, you know, I'm not into planes. I don't like flying.
Oh yeah, me
actually,
too.
that's not quite true. I don't mind flying. It's crashing I don't like. Yeah, the flying's fine.
Who would there be to say, yeah, I like crashing in planes? It's fun.
No, but I mean, like, if I had a crystal ball and I could see my flight landing in the future at the other side safely, I would get on the plane and I'd be fine. But otherwise,
Okay.
I'm going to be anxious. But I know part of that job involves.
I got a different issue with planes. My body doesn't go well with high G forces.
Oh, really?
Yeah. One time at the takeoff, I almost lost consciousness. It was really bad.
So how much G do you need to experience before you feel something like that?
I don't know any actual numbers on
what
that.
What about a fast car going around a corner?
I think 70.
That's already bad.
Yeah. Wow. I wonder if that's some. Yeah, I don't know. That's some. Is that it related to inner ear and stuff like that? Maybe.
I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. But yeah.
By the way, Rusty, getting back to on track. You are at Distant Worlds too, but do you have any personal agenda or purpose or goal at this expedition you want to reach?
Not really. I mean, I think the reason. No, my own personal agenda, my own personal goal, is to get to Beagle Point, because I've never been there. I'll probably never go again, because it's such a long distance. It's one of those places I think you probably. For a lot of people, some people have been there multiple times, but for me, it's visit once, and you know, maybe that's going to be it. And my other goal for that was, you know, to try and document via live stream every point of the journey, which I've done. I would say 99% of that on stream already. So yeah, it was just for documenting the whole thing on stream, and now that because the Distant Worlds 2 was timed really well, it came out it started pretty soon after 3.3 dropped, so there was new stuff out there to be discovered, like the Lagrange clouds and the anemones and stuff like that, and with the new exploration tools, the FSS and all that stuff, we were able to easily find geological sites which were challenging before. And so I knew I had opportunities to show some pretty decent content, despite the fact that it's exploration, which a lot of people think can be grindy and boring. But certainly on Distant Worlds, I haven't found it to be grindy or boring, because there's always something new and cool. And I'm quite optimistic. You know, I'm not like, oh, you know, here's another neutron star. I'm quite upbeat. So, you know, just seeing like a ringed neutron star or something like that, it's like, wow, look at this, it looks so cool. And so yeah, I think with that outlook, I think I'm okay for doing long live streams of exploration, which I didn't initially think would take off. I thought people would get bored really quickly, but it hasn't really tapered off. I don't think. I think people are watching my stuff.
Well, as I said before the interview started, I tend to listen to your streams.
Yeah, I do find that a lot.
At work, so they are easy to listen.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of people telling me that they do that they listen to me in the background. So maybe I shouldn't be doing live streams. Maybe I should just do podcasts instead. Yeah, just play the game, no video, and just put it on a podcast and just talk.
You could just come up with the story. You can You don't need to actually even play the game. You can just write down some story and
Yeah, I mean, I did think about doing that with my third account. I thought maybe I would start off as, you know, and kind of role play this commander, as if he'd just come out of the academy, learned to fly, got his first ship. You know, it's a bit like there's a couple of YouTubers that do this where they have a second account and they interact one with the other. I think Turgeon is one, isn't he? Turgeon, and yeah,
Turgeon has,
and I think Ghost Giraffe as well with Commander Mars or something. Yeah, and but I don't think I've got that. I did try doing it. I don't think I've got that creativity though, because I tried. I did a 1 hour video of me trying to ad lib some kind of story. You know, here I am, you know, I'm so and so, I've just been through the academy, this is my first ship, wow, look at this, I can't wait to get out there and all this. But then when I got to the end of the video, I thought, I can't keep this up. I can't keep doing this all the time. I'm going to forget where I was. I don't know what I was doing. I can't remember whether my character had parents. Well, obviously had parents, but whether they were still alive. I wouldn't be able to keep the story up. I'd have to write it down and script some of it and actually write a bio for this character so that I could remember the details. And I thought, I haven't got the time. I can't do it. So I scrapped the video and I just haven't bothered with it.
Yeah, I was also doing with my second with like the story of new commander getting to Colonia, and I was doing it with my friend, and then less surprisingly my friend got a bit bored with the project, and then it just quit the project. So,
but were you doing it in a way where you would just record the footage and then you'd have to edit it?
No, we were doing it like in comic style. They were all stills and black and white stills, and they were like.
Oh, I remember
the Photoshop.
So, I think I remember something like that.
We have the first episode out. It's in YouTube. That's about it. And
that's brilliant. That's a really good idea, though. Yeah, like a comic strip.
We were planning the 5 to 6 episode series where 2 commanders, brand new commanders, are in their sidewinders and they head to Colonia. But then,
so what do you have? Like a slideshow of different screenshots and then in like a cartoon format? But you have
it's like cartoon. Yeah,
that's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was really lot of work to do, and
it is. That's the thing. It's a lot of work.
And
it eats up the hours.
Photoshopping, and he was like, he can't do it anymore. He's so well. It got. We quit it after the first episode. So
yeah, it's a shame.
Sad, but
it's very original, though. This is what This is. I like that. I like the originality of that.
It was really fun to do, but we had the script and everything.
Yeah, but like you say, it's a lot of man hours to put in, though.
It was a huge amount of man.
Yeah, it's like doing a movie. They have so many hours of footage. They do so much editing to squeeze it down into something like 30 minutes.
And the most time takes is the planning and
as well.
Stuff. It takes like 70 to 80% of the time is the planning.
And a lot of people don't. When you see the video on YouTube, they probably don't realize quite how much has gone into just making that episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even just doing a video for like if I don't do a live stream and I do a normal video and record myself and then I've got to edit afterwards, there's time involved there in the editing there and putting, there's all the fades in between each one, which to be fair, that's very, very easy in Adobe Premiere, but you've got to sit through video you've just recorded and say, I'm 5.5 minutes in Super Cruise here, so I'm going to edit that bit out because nobody wants to watch that. But then you might say something interested in that 5.5 minutes, so then you think, maybe I should leave it in. So yeah.
I have also done both. I have done streaming and I have done video. The amount of hours you use one, for example, 5-minute video it's huge.
Yeah, I mean,
it's so easy just to stream. Take open OBS and start streaming.
That's it.
You can just sit there for 5 hours, like Rusty does, and you can end the stream, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
when
like
you're making a video, it's
sometimes though when I do a stream, I don't plan it; it just happens. This was before Distant Worlds 2 when I now know I'm going to do it. But sometimes I would sit at the computer, I think, right, I'm going to play Elite Dangerous, and then I think, well, okay, I might as well record it. I might as well put it on a live stream. If I'm going to play it, I might as well talk to people at the same time. You know, and I end up, getting through 4 hours, but very quickly. But at the beginning of
your longest stream?
My longest, I think I've done just over 7 hours, a couple of times. Yeah, yeah. There's been a case.
I did a 12-hour one and on the launch day of Distant Worlds too.
Well, I think when I get once I move into my house, which should maybe 2 or 3 months. Once I'm settled in my new house, I'll have more freedom when it comes to what time I can do streams. So perhaps I might do an even longer one. I might do a 12-hour one. I don't think I could go 24 hours on my own.
I was just about to say that you should try to
no.
do
I think no, because I think
not without help, I guess.
Yeah, yes. I think if there was another person.
But yeah, I remember when Distant Worlds 2 launched. I think Nagi, you had the stream open for 12 hours or so.
Me?
And we had live.
No, Nagi.
Right, 12 hours.
Distant radio stream.
I was just the only person who could live stream during that day, so.
I mean, the only other game I've ever spent 7 hours on in one straight sitting was Grand Theft Auto. That's the only other game I've ever done that I've sat for 7 hours and just played that straight.
Which one?
4. Grand Theft Auto 4.
Ah.
Yeah, I played. This was before 5 came out.
Was that in multiplayer or single player?
No, single player. Yeah, but I had mods on there as well, so I had plenty of different mods on there.
Right.
And 7 hours went by, and I thought, oh geez, I've just spent this entire day playing one game. But that was on my own. I wasn't recording anything. When I'd finished playing, it was dark outside, and I started playing somewhere just after lunch, and then
that sometimes happens to me when I get a new game.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like when Mass Effect 3 came out, I had to play that on us, and I was at the ending on the second day already.
Wow.
Yeah, I would too. If I wouldn't have my wife and kids and work, I could easily sit at the front of my computer for the whole day.
Yeah, I mean,
no problem.
The thing is, it's too easy to do. But I mean, like, I know I could stream for longer, but then sometimes I think, well, who's going to watch this? Who's going to sit for 6 hours? I know people do break it up. They'll maybe watch 2 hours a day, and it'll take them 3 days to get through the stream. And some people will actually go through.
Yeah, there's almost 5,000 people who does watch still.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. I mean, when I got 3,000 subscribers, it was like blown away. I thought, I didn't, when I started doing YouTube Elite Dangerous videos, I didn't imagine I could even get into the thousands by just playing one game, essentially. I mean, I do other streams of other games now and again, but it's 90%, 95% Elite Dangerous. But it's amazing.
That brings me to another question.
Yeah.
I know that you are streaming other games than Elite. What's your favorite game outside Elite?
Outside Elite Dangerous. I'm probably going to
be streaming a lot of different games.
Yeah, it's a game that I've probably only streamed once or twice because they don't seem to go down too well with my audience, so I don't bother doing it anymore. But I do a lot of sim racing, car racing. I have the full pedals and wheels set up and everything, the proper stuff with the ABS simulation on the pedal and everything. And so I do a lot of sim racing, and my favorite at the moment is one called Assetto Corsa, which translated means race setup. And yeah, if I'm not playing that, and I'll tell you why, it's probably it's not for the same reason as Elite Dangerous, because I'll get to that in a sec. But there's another one called R Factor 2, which from a simulation perspective is better. It feels better. But Assetto Corsa doesn't feel as good, but it's nice. It's such a nice game to play, and I've been doing streams on Euro Truck Simulator 2 as well, which has been fun, and Spin Tires. But I would say Assetto Corsa really would be my go. Like if I didn't play Elite Dangerous, that would probably be my go-to game. But with Assetto Corsa and Elite Dangerous, they both have something up their sleeve which keeps me hooked, and that's how good they look in virtual reality. Because Elite Dangerous in VR looks incredible, and Assetto Corsa, you're sat in this car, and it's full scale. It's the full size. You know, that's that sense of scale. You're sitting in this car, and you really feel like you're there, and it's amazing. So
and in Elite in VR is
Elite is stunning in VR.
Although my wife has been collecting dust there for a couple of months now. I don't know why, but my Vive times are a bit. I'm too comfortable with my multi-monitor setup these days.
Yeah, I mean, I have triple monitor set up here, but I very rarely, if ever, play Elite Dangerous in triple monitor, because with VR there's no point. You know, there's no point.
Yeah, I don't either. But when I'm exploring, I have the game in the middle monitor, and then I watch the Netflix from the second.
Yeah, that's the great thing about multi-monitor with
Discord
Elite.
is at the third monitor, so
yeah, I also do that. I watch YouTube videos mainly.
That's it.
Or just with Discord.
It makes some tedious tasks in Elite Dangerous more bearable.
And
yes,
I have been using the Vive for the last 2 years, over 1,000 hours. So I have seen actually all the VR can offer. So I think I don't know what to say, that I am bored with the VR, but
yeah, I mean,
it just doesn't give me the effect anymore it used to.
No, I guess that, you know, initially when I put the because I was always put off buying one because I didn't know how it was going to affect me, you know, whether I was going to be biologically compatible with it, you know, because a lot of people get head issues with it, they get sick with it, so I wasn't sure, and I thought I'm not going to spend that much money on the VR. And
I have one friend who plays Elite also, and he knows that he suffers from VR.
Yeah, motion sickness, isn't? Yeah.
But yeah, motion sickness. But still, he bought Oculus Rift, and he decided that he wants to get over with the motion sickness. But he couldn't get over it, so he sold his.
Well, you see,
there was an offer from Lenovo, mixed reality goggles, so he bought those, and he's trying again to get over.
Right. Yeah, because if you can,
I wanna go back to your live stream. What was the most crazy thing or the most funny thing that's happened on your Elite streams?
Oh God, probably when I do something that a newbie would do, like, you know, crash into the mail slot and get blown up or something. Anytime I blow my ship up through something stupid, yeah, it's kind of like that. I did get stream sniped once.
Oh.
Yeah, it was in my private group as well. Somebody came. I was on a planet's surface with a few people in a wing, and somebody I didn't know hovered above and just blew my Asp Explorer into a million pieces. So that's it's the one and only been stream sniped. Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, so I thought that was nice. But yeah, I've had a few crazy moments. There was one time where I landed on a launch pad after a Thargoid fight, and I was covered in that that corrosive stuff that they have, that corrosive snot, and I landed on the launch pad with 0% hull, which was it was going down 2%, 1%, and I was desperate to land, and it went from 1% to 0, and then I touched down. And
I have heard that you can still land with 0%.
Yeah, you can if you do it like super quick. And
the pad immediately removes the debuff.
Sorry,
the pad removes the debuff once.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Also, they keep your shields up, which is a bit funny because a few days ago I got a bounty in Pearl Harbor in my SRV, and when they blew up my SRV.
Bounty in SRV.
Yeah, and then when I didn't launch my ship. I just went to the surface because I wanted to see what the people were doing there, which was a good idea because the station turrets started firing at my ship, but they didn't do any damage because it was keeping my shields up at the same time.
Right. That's great.
I was sitting there like, okay, how am I going to get away from here?
Oh, I've had it where I've taken off from a station and been destroyed by. I was in a Python, and I was destroyed by a Goliath Sentinel. Yeah, just one Goliath, and it just fired on me and just blew me out the sky. But I've just been reminded of a funny thing that happened on one stream. Just on my own personal stream that I'm running right now, I've got my YouTube chat running, and I've just been reminded of something that I said once on a stream, which made sense to me at the time, but as soon as I said it, I realized what a stupid thing it was for me to say. And I think it was something like I have a jump range of like 70 light years, and I'm jumping to a system that's like 30 light years, and I said it's less than a jump away. Right? And it can't be, can it? Because everything is a jump, even if it's 1 light year, it's a jump away. And I said, how far away is this system? Oh, no, don't worry, it's less than a jump away. And what I meant was it's less than my jump range is. That's what I meant. And less than a jump. And now that's stuck. So now I try and say it once per stream, if I remember, because I keep getting reminded.
Less than a jump away.
Less than a jump away. I thought, and I said at the time, I said that's something that I should put on a T-shirt.
People still don't realize it.
No, less than a jump away. It's just a stupid thing. God. I'm going to be remembered for that. That'll be on my gravestone. Yeah.
Rusty, is there anything you're still looking to experience out there?
In the game?
Would you like? Yeah, in the game or when you're exploring. What would you like to see?
Well, if I'm answering correctly, what I'd like to see more danger out there. I'd like Frontier to put some more dangerous stuff in, like those storm clouds. And maybe maybe a little bit something that's that keeps you on your toes as you're exploring. Or maybe
isn't there now some animal?
The Q-type ones.
Yeah, there's those anemones out there. I think there's some with electricity on them as well, but I'm not sure whether they do damage to your ship or not. I mean, look at Black.
They actually do. The Q-type anomalies.
Oh, they do, yeah? Yeah. Oh, yeah, because the one I picked up in that electrical storm was K-type. And I just happened to see it, and I targeted it, and I said, what's that? And I got close to it, and then it was zapping my ship. So that was cool. I really enjoyed that. I mean, I came out of that storm with 58% hull. It took my shields down, and I was down to. I came so close to my Anaconda being blown away, but I really enjoyed it. It was great.
Remember, you can always call the hull seals if you got damage.
Yeah, no, I mean I've got my AFMU, so I was okay. But what I think I made a comment at the time on the stream that it was very thoughtful of Frontier to have these electrical and whatever they are just damage the hull. Like it didn't damage any of the modules. All the modules were at 100%, and it just damaged the hull, which means it was easier to fix. You know,
has it been said anywhere what those things are?
I certainly haven't read anything about that. I know they've got these, because you mentioned, I think there's is it Q type as well, and there's K type.
Because I was just wondering, are they just anomalies? They just are there and they just appear, or are they related to something? Like
I have no idea. I mean, it's like those spiky things that you see a lot in the Lagrange clouds. I don't know if are they alive? Are they organic? I don't know what they are.
Apparently, they are supposed to be alive, from what I've heard.
Yeah, it is salt.
Oh right.
Yeah, they are manufactured sort of salt or something like that.
Oh.
I've heard from some people. It's like it's an organism or something, but is salt or something like that.
Yeah, some kind of crystalline stuff. Do you guys think that black holes should be a bit more dangerous than what they are?
Yeah, indeed.
Because they're very benign at the moment. There's no danger attached to them. You can just hit the exclusion zone, and for some reason you see your.
So fun doing that.
I know it is, and also turning around and leaving it when you're jumping into Super Cruise, and the whole space sucks in and then blows out again.
Yes.
That's really cool. And have you noticed as well when you hit the body exclusion zone and then you hit the boost, that your engine smoke is in front of your ship as opposed to behind it?
Yeah, indeed.
Oh yeah.
How cool! That's really clever, isn't it? It's really. Whether that would happen in real life, I don't know, but I don't plan on finding out. No, it's there's some good stuff in the game, and for me, Elite Dangerous beats all the other space games. I mean, you know, just because of its science. Yeah, I don't think you know.
Well, I think there's some games which has their own unique style, but
that's right. Yeah, I think. But
Elite has in general is the best.
Yeah, because it has
a whole experience.
All the science is there, like all the gravities, the orbits, like even stuff like Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 and stuff. They are positioned where they would be in that year.
One of the things that I really wanted to have in a game for a very long time is the ability to go down onto planets in real time from space and back up again. And Elite has that, and it's so fucking cool.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but you still have to switch instances, don't you, on the way down though?
Yeah, I think the instance.
Yeah, technically you can do all that in normal space too. That's the thing.
I did something on a stream the other day where there was two planets orbiting very, very close to each other, and I managed to boost out of the orbital cruise the range of one planet, and I got onto the next planet without using Super Cruise.
Exactly. That is what I'm talking about.
I actually did use Super Cruise twice, to be honest, but that was just to save time. It wasn't for any other reason. So technically it is possible. If the planets are orbiting close to each other, you can hop from one to the other and you don't need to use Super Cruise.
You can even do that in SRV.
You can if you have an anaconda, if you sat on an anaconda's nose and it pushes you up.
You don't even need that. You can do that in SRV alone.
Oh really? Okay.
Yes.
That would be interesting. I'd love to try that out.
Should I explain how that works?
Yeah, by all means, yeah.
So when you are flying with your SRV and boosting, when you tilt forward about 60 degrees, you gain speed. more speed than you would be possible to drive.
Right.
You do that, and then you hope to hit a slope that goes upwards, and make sure your capacitor is completely filled when you hit that slope. And once you do, you keep boosting upwards, and you will gain altitude, which gives you more time to increase your speed. And you repeat that a couple of times, and you get so fast that you eventually reach a velocity with that you can keep a stable orbit, basically. Or
Oh wow.
if
Okay.
you go faster than that, you can just fly off.
Wow.
Well, I have jumped only to orbit from water geysers. I haven't done
Oh
that.
God. Yeah. I did that. I trod on one with my SRV, and before I knew it, I was 5 kilometers up in the air.
Yeah, well,
You got
we had to
further?
rescue at DC. We had to rescue a couple of the orbit in their SRVs, and we had to rescue Nagi because Nagi flew to the orbit in his
Yeah.
SRV. So
Wow.
Well, you rescued an
I
SRV.
was going too fast, and even without boosting, I still gained altitude, and I went past the. I think it's the glide mode stopping point where it breaks physics.
Oh,
yeah,
really? Is that what
Just
it is?
begin to float.
around 20 kilometers maybe around where you're out of the situation, you can't do anything anymore. So
Yeah. Oh, so that's what it is. It's when you just go beyond where the glide would end, and then the physics change there.
I think it is that point. It was around 10.3 kilometers on the quantum world.
yeah, I think 10 kilometers is quite close to the point where you have no return anymore.
It's different, though. It depends on planet size or gravity or both. I don't know exactly.
Well, I
try
can say
this.
that gravity has definitely something to do with it because
Mm.
I don't think that you can fly to the orbit with high gravity planets.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
Oh, I've had some fun
So
on
you would
those.
blow up way too fast when you hit the ground for bouncing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and even when if you try to jump from the water geysers, you need to have like 0.03 gravity or something like that.
Yeah, something really, really light. Yeah.
Yeah. So at DC, like I said, we had to rescue 3 or 4 commanders from the orbit in their SRVs because we arranged a competition who jumps highest from the water geyser. And well,
But how many did you lose? Any though? Did you lose any SRVs?
No, we got to rescue all of them. So our little competition ended up to being a rescue operation. So not
Well,
that good competition.
It's great though, isn't it, that you can have these little side adventures when you're doing this stuff.
Yeah,
but I mean,
I think
just leaving now.
Distant worlds is also distant world. That's what I'm expecting. Distant worlds are these little events.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what it is. Really, it's a lot of little incidents and events in between each waypoint. But I mean, I don't know if I think when we get to waypoint 7, which I presume is Sagittarius A, are we having?
No, it's just beside.
We don't know yet if that.
Oh, right.
It could be Sagittarius A itself or something really close by.
We know the system.
Yeah.
No, the system with the station is not the waypoint. That was set
by okay. Yeah.
Because I was just wondering after Sagittarius A, when the next opportunity to land is going to be.
I think we're going to pick a system with a nice landable spot in it.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I guess as you go further on, there's going to be less and less opportunities to dock anywhere.
Yeah, I think
that is the last one.
Yeah.
The station, it will be the last one.
Well,
so, Rusty, is there anything you're looking for in the future of? What are you
in the future of Elite Dangerous?
Yeah. What are you expecting?
Well, what I expect and what we get are going to be two different things. I know that.
Well, of course,
I would
people
like
are expecting space legs and Atmo planets.
space legs.
Yeah.
I can't
But do you have
personally.
any
I can't
personal
see it
wishes?
happen. I can't see it happening.
Space legs and atmospheric landings would profit
Atmospheric
from each other.
landings would be top of my list. Space legs, I honestly don't think it's going to happen. I don't know.
I really want to have both, so I can actually walk around the big cities of
Yeah.
Elite.
Did you see Commander Plater's video on space legs? He's just put one out a couple of days ago about the practicality of having space legs and the downsides to it, and he makes some really good points on there. So it might make you rethink.
Yeah, it
space
would
legs
probably completely change the game.
Yeah, it would exactly.
Which is also the reason
changes-
I'm hoping that Star Citizen will at some point get released as a full game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure with Star Citizen, our great grandchildren can enjoy its release.
I can almost guess what the player's points with the space legs were, but I see more problems with the Atmo planets.
Yeah.
Because you can't have atmospheric planets, they can't be the end goal. You have to something to do with that planets. You have to have some life there.
But that's
where
why
the
I
stuff
set up
gets
wanted to have
interesting.
both. Because without space legs, they wouldn't really have a purpose.
No.
Yeah, and Atmo planets should have some kind of life. And
I mean, the only
would
thing
that
I could
life
think
be?
of really is if you're landing, once glide completes and you're getting into that last phase of landing, is that you could have very stormy, like windy buffeting the ship, making it very treacherous to land. Same with the
Ooh, that would be
SRV,
awesome.
it can blow you off course if you boost or anything, and just make.
One thing I was thinking about maybe they could do is limit that to only the populated planets, and that you will have special traffic lanes going down to the big cities, and really limit it to those areas.
Yeah.
But what I don't want to see is the No Man's Sky style of random generated beings at the planets, like animals with 3 heads. I just don't want those in Elite.
Yeah, crashing in trees.
Yeah, I think the other thing I'd like is what we were hoping to get in Chapter 4, which was the ice planet formations, things like caves.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe I'd like to see another SRV rather than this one. I'd like to see something like a bit beefier,
definitely,
and maybe something that's got like a instead of a laser or a firing just a cannon, like it's got a drill, and it can drill into the terrain, and you can
something with a bigger cargo space.
Yeah, exactly.
Or one
I was just about to say
fast or something like that.
Yeah.
I was just about to say that if there would be another SRV, it would really have to have some real purpose.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously more cargo space, and then like if you could go into caves, and maybe there's like, let's say if you go into a cave, you have a planet version of a hotspot. Like on the rings, you've got these hotspots of minerals. So perhaps if you go into caves, you know, like you would find diamonds and stuff like that. Maybe you could have hotspots inside caves, or you can tunnel your own cave into the side of a mountain or down in the floor and just drive down like one of those molds and just tunnel into the planet's surface and just get some exotic minerals from beneath the surface. I don't know. But the same SRV is just... It's nice, but I'd like another one. We've got 30 odd ships in the game and one SRV.
What about lore? Would you like to see any updates that would change storytelling in the game?
Yeah, now I can honestly say you're asking the wrong person, because my knowledge of Elite lore is very, very limited. You could write my knowledge of Elite lore on the back of a postage stamp and still have room to spare.
But how about the narrative with targets? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, so far we've seen them getting closer and closer to the bubble, so
yeah,
I'm guessing,
how long has
is
that
it leading
taken?
up to an all-out invasion, and it's going to be you know, the Thargoids versus the humans. But then, where do the Guardians come into play on this? You know, do we just get their technology?
What I'm curious about is, are they actually going to put those two different Thargoid factions in there? Or...
Yeah, and also the possibility to join a Thargoid faction, so to side with them.
My gripe with the Thargoids is, what's taking for so long? If you're going to invade us, do it already.
Yeah, I'm sure they can.
I mean, come on, they have been invading us for last.
Yeah, when are the Thargoids going to enter the Sol system?
To talk about, because there's also conspiracy theories going on and stuff like that, and that goes deep into the lore.
Yeah,
because Elite game engine doesn't have any kind of dynamic actions. I don't have any high hopes with Thargoids, and I think that the fact that they have been invading per se the galaxy for the last year, it's way too slow.
Yeah,
I wasn't expecting this slow storytelling.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what Frontier have got planned.
I think Thargoid has lost their. I don't even consider them being any dangerous.
I think the thing with the Thargoids, I think where it needs to change for me, is right now. Apart from what do we call it? What's that term that gets used when a Thargoid interdicts you through the warp tunnel? Yeah, hyperdiction. Yeah. Apart from hyperdiction, all the interactions you have with a Thargoid is voluntary. So if you want to fight a Thargoid, you have to volunteer to do that by either dropping in on a non-human threat, you know, or whatever. But there's no involuntary combat with a Thargoid. Like, you can't just be flying around and then just meet one, or one interdicts you and you have to fight the damn thing. Because mostly we'll get killed.
The thing is, they don't use super crews. They just
that's
directly.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's absolutely no dynamic gameplay.
No, there needs to be some form of involuntary, like what happened with the Gnosis, I guess. Although the Gnosis was a bit of a chaos, but at least when you came up on the Gnosis, you had the Thargoid scouts there, not the scouts, the little ones, the baby ones, and that was brilliant. You know, you could actually get killed on the launch pad if you were unlucky enough. I thought that was fantastic. So yeah, I'd like to see involuntary Thargoids. Maybe I'm not talking Medusas. I'm talking the Cyclops. Because now we just arm ourselves with
attacking a starport and you having to defend it to actually fend them off.
Yeah. Or if you got news that they were coming to this starport, and then there'd be like a CG around it. It's like a community goal around it where people could just mass next to that starport and wait for their arrival to just pop in, and then just like big, huge battles, you know.
Yeah. Like I said, I think Thargoids, they need more dynamic gameplay, but I think it's not possible with the current game engine. That's the restriction.
Yeah, maybe this is why Frontier are looking at this rewrite of the code.
I think there's a lot of problems with the current game engine. It just won't bend to certain situations.
I'm just wondering whether Elite Dangerous is probably the boundaries of Elite Dangerous have maybe gone a bit beyond what they thought it might, because it's kind of ballooned into this huge thing. I don't know what their vision was when they initially programmed it. If they thought it was going to get this, this popular.
I mean, the game engine, it's great. Like, well, for exploration, I think Elite is the game ever.
The Stellar Forge engine is incredible.
But then the other side of the coin is the Thargoids, which are really uninteresting and not scary.
Yeah, I found a lot of things that Frontier.
I really don't want to
No. I mean, they haven't put stuff in the game.
Fun to find, actually.
Yeah.
I have seen Thargoids once. I haven't killed a single target because I don't care about those because they are done so poorly. The dynamic, I'm so fed up with the target storyline.
I think I've killed one in like, I think it was it 4.5 seconds or something, or 5 seconds. I killed a Cyclops.
But
With
I
a
played.
I can't remember. Yeah,
I played the game engine, the Cobra engine. It
that
just
wasn't.
nice things. But well, exploration goes with the Cobra engine just fine, so I can live with this for now. Well, let's continue. What are you doing when you're not exploring? I think you kind of answered to that when you said
Yeah.
that you are out of
If it's in
combat.
Elite, if it's at the moment, if it's Elite Dangerous related, at the moment I've really just been putting out Distant Worlds streams because I do plan to put out videos on for my third account starting from scratch, but it's a question of getting the time, and whenever I get time to live stream, I need to put that time into Distant Worlds because otherwise I'm going to lag behind. So, yeah. But who knows? That's going to change at some point, and then I can concentrate on other things. But at the same time, I don't want every video I put out to be Distant Worlds. I want to put something else out as well.
Yeah.
So
that's what second alt accounts are for.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
go on.
at Distant Worlds, what's your so far your coolest discovery personally?
Oh, easy. That one's easy. That's got to be the lightning storm that I discovered for the first time in the last stream. That was incredible.
Yeah.
That was brilliant. It was. I mean, it's nice to see the cool stuff like ringed neutron stars, and because you get some really nice screenshot opportunities, and that system that had 6 black holes in one system, and stuff like that. All nice, all really cool, and some really nice planet surfaces with really deep canyons. But this lightning storm was so atmospheric. You really felt like you were in one, and it actually caused damage to the ship. I nearly lost my Anaconda inside it, and I loved it. It was fantastic, and the lighting, this new lighting they put on. Every time the lightning went off, it was flashing on my ship because I have one of these. I've got the iridescent gleam livery on there, which reflects everything, and it just looked so good. I was so impressed with it. So far, that's been my favorite thing. So I don't know what they're going to do to top that, but that was good.
Yeah, I think when
always expect the unexpected.
Yes, exactly. That's what exploration is all about. You just don't know what you're going to come up and find next. Yeah.
I have that much cynicism in me. I think it's nice that people are still thinking that there might be stuff to find yet.
Yeah, well, that's the hope. I mean, didn't somebody just find a new those, I don't know what they're called, anemones? The spiky ones and the metal ball ones. I think somebody just found a one that it looked like a reel, like a not a cotton reel, but like a, when you have like an extension cable and you pull all the cable off and you just got 2 bits of round cardboard and a bit in the middle. It looked like that. Yeah, and that wasn't documented in the codex before, so I think that's a new entry. So there probably is still new anemones out there that haven't been found yet. I hope.
It's like when 3.3 came online, before it came out, when it was still in beta, people found some biological things, and then they went back to the main game to check if those were already there before the update, and indeed they were. So they found things with the new update that have been around for years, or for at least a year.
Oh, I see what you mean.
But nobody didn't find yet.
Right. Yeah, I mean, this is it. The new FSS device has allowed us to find geologicals and biological sites very, very easily now. which I think is a good thing because it was really difficult to find them before.
Yeah, but aside from that, how do you feel about the new scanning system, the FSS and new exploration mechanics compared to the old one?
Well,
because that's obviously the big topic, has been a big topic.
Yeah.
For the last months, so.
Okay. I think the new tools like the FSS scanning, where it's like a little mini game, I suppose, where you pop into the FSS screen.
God,
and
I hate that word. I so hate the word game. I hate the word so much. Mini game is a game which you play in Grand Theft Auto when you walk in the bar and play some pinball. That's a mini game.
Well, it's like but it's okay. I'll change the words then. It's kind of like a little side quest that you have to, a little side mission where you've got to zoom in and out to all of these places. I like it, and I like the idea of mapping planets in, and it pays. So Frontier said that they think they think that commanders who put more time into exploration should get paid more. Essentially meaning that if you map a planet, you get rewarded for it. Whether that's enough, I don't know. Then they've got some arcadey stuff in there, like efficiency bonuses. I don't understand that, because if a planet needs 7 probes and you fire 6, and then you comes up with efficiency bonus, who's giving you that? Where's that coming from?
I don't
know who's and who knows? I've just sent those probes out. But the only downside for me, of course, is the passive scanning. It's something I don't agree with, where you're flying, you jump into a system, and then your ship essentially discovers a nearby planet. It discovers the sun that's right in front of you automatically, whether you like it or not. You can't turn it off. I disagree with that completely. I think that's the wrong play by Frontier, but hey, that's my only downside. The rest of it, brilliant. I like it. I think it's a lot more. It's a lot more interactive now. It makes you. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually like the passive scanning with the main stars, but
the problem is with it though. If you're a purist kind of explorer, or what people have termed a completionist, like I cannot now jump into a system that maybe has 28 bodies in it, and then decide, you know what, I'm not going to scan everything in this system, so I'm going to leave it alone and let somebody else discover it and put their name on everything. I can't do that now, because my passive scanner is going to pick up the sun, any nearby planets, and it's going to spoil that system for somebody else who wants to come along and claim it all for themselves. Because I remember when I did my Bubble Nebula trip, I came into a few systems and I thought, this is quite a nice system, but as I'm not going to complete it, I'm going to leave it untouched and leave it for somebody else to do. But now you just don't get that option. Every time somebody jumps into a system now, that's at least the sun is going to get scanned, and you've got no option, so you cannot leave a system untouched anymore. And that was only my bugbear with it, really.
Yeah, and actually one problem with Frontier is that I know that people are hoping that we
guess you
still
could
go well.
turn off. No, you can't.
No, you can't. You cannot disable it.
No,
just try it.
I know that people are still hoping. People are still hoping that Frontier would revert back to the old mechanics.
Yeah,
which
but they kind of needed
to happen.
I hope they do. I hope they do take off passive scanning, but I really do think they needed to do that before Distant World started, because you've got 13,000 commanders now going out there.
Well,
and
if you know Frontier, you know that they are not going to do that.
No,
they are not going to do any big changes to their mechanics.
No. I mean, I don't know why they added it in the first place, because it's not like it was something that was broken that needed fixing. The way it worked before, where you You know, if you wanted to scan the sun in front of you, then or target it and have it scanned, then you could do that. But you had that choice. Now that choice is taken out of your hands, whether you like it or not, and the ship does it for you. You know.
Yeah.
So you're getting free credits, really. You know, where before instead of me just going jump, jump, scoop, jump, jump, scoop, I'm now scanning stuff and I'm getting free credits for something I'm not even remotely attempting to scan.
Yeah.
So
and considering that you will get also the brown dwarfs and all the ugly planets you don't even want, you still get your name on those.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'm not actually, that's not bad, but that's a weird mechanic. I have to agree.
It is. Yeah. I mean, as soon as I saw it popping up. On the other thing is, along related to that, is all that clutter on the screen. When you jump, whenever you jump in somewhere, it comes up on the right in front of your eyes on the.
Yeah. And
you know, you get all this writing coming up on the screen. So I thought, well, look, if we have to have passive scanning, if it has to stay in the game, can we please at least just restrict it to analysis mode and keep it out of combat mode? Because if I'm in combat mode and I'm jumping from system to system looking for a pirate or a bounty, I don't want to know that I've just discovered 6 clusters, belt clusters. I'm not interested in the slightest. Stop putting it up on the screen.
Yeah, that's my biggest rant. I would like to see a filter where you can choose if you want to see those asteroid cluster or no, not, because I don't care for those.
No, the asteroids, they're not worth anything. They're worth 0. So
why are you getting that information that you just found the asteroid cluster? I don't understand.
I mean, you can go into a belt cluster, but you don't get anything. You don't get credits for it. There's no exploration credits for it.
And as we mentioned at the beginning of the interview, there's a section where you had some YouTube videos with Rusty Rambles, and we are ending the interview with the Rusty Ramble.
Yeah, well, there you go. But I've had this ramble before. One of my rambles videos. If you look back on my YouTube channel, I have a video called something along the lines of why passive scanning is a mistake, and I've done a whole. I've vented all on that.
But
so I know not everybody agrees, which is, you know, some people are quite happy with having stuff, you know, happen for them. But as an explorer, I would like to, if I'm going to take on the role of an explorer, I want to discover the stuff. I don't want my ship to do it. I want to do it, you know. I don't want it taken out of my hands, and I don't know. But
yeah, but I think it's your opinion. It's opinion from many commanders. I think it's a good opinion.
Yeah, clearly not enough commanders though, because if there was plenty of them, then maybe Frontier would listen. I'd like to know what the advantage is. I mean, what's the advantage to explorers apart from it just saves them a bit of time?
I'm not getting my hopes up for Frontier to change
that. Rusty, I have still one question.
Yeah, sure.
What for audience do you have?
What's the size-wise, you mean? What size?
No, like what for people watching your videos or watching your live streams?
Sorry, I'm not sure I understand the question. Can you say it again?
What kind of people watch you?
What kind of people? Well, nice people. People with good taste. No, I think there was one time I was doing a stream, I think it must have been a couple of years ago, or very early on in my streaming life, as it were, and I asked, how old are you people on the chat? And I don't know why I got it into my head that the audience was, you know, young guys, 20s, something like that. But no, it wasn't. It was people 40s, 50s, 60s. And I thought, I was really surprised by it. I don't know why. I just had this preconceived notion that the player base was young. And I'm some old guy.
Elite is played by young people.
No, it's not. A lot of people have come from the original Elite. And people were telling me, yeah, I'm 50 something, I'm 60 this. There was one guy came on, he was 83, which blew me away, because I thought, well, if you're playing Elite Dangerous at 83, that gives the rest of us hope. We can still maybe not Elite Dangerous, but but maybe by the time we're 83, maybe by then, Star Citizen will be out, and we can enjoy that.
It's going to be a bit earlier.
You think so?
Well,
I don't have any plans on Star Citizen getting into beta before I'm 60. So, but I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I was quite surprised by the audience that it was in that age group. But I think the most I've had on a chat is probably about 125 people. It's mainly, before Distant Worlds 2, it was certainly somewhere between, on a normal day, probably 60. On a good day, I might get up to 100 maybe, now and again, 100. But it's normally around 60 I get. But the people that come on my stream, I've always said that I think it's some of the best guys on there. I get a lot of loyal people coming back every week. The same people, which is really nice to see.
I see also that.
Yeah, it's kind of humbling in a way, because that these people are giving you their time, and I'll do a 4-hour stream, and there's so many people there that with me from the start all the way through to the end. And then it's not until you finish and you think, wow, these guys have given up 4 hours of their life and their time to be with you on this stream. It's a lot. It's a lot to ask, isn't it? And I do feel sometimes I'm asking too much of people.
But it's better that you don't think it like that, because it's voluntarily.
Exactly. Yeah. People will watch as much as they want to. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Talking about time, we have time for one quick question, and it's from the Discord. Where do you see yourself in 6 months' time? I don't know if it's
6 months
like in game or in real life.
Okay, well, I'll try and answer both then. So, in the game, it's probably going to be more of the same. In 6 months, I hope to see myself. Yeah, there you go. You took the words right out of my mouth. Yeah, I hope to see myself at Beagle Point.
In 6 months' time, I think you are coming back from Beagle Point.
Yeah, well, that would be great. Yeah, because I can't wait, to be honest. I mean, I'm loving Distant Worlds 2, and I'm loving the journey, and I certainly want to do it all. But I am looking forward to getting back and getting into the meat of the game again.
It's actually.
But yeah, in 6 months.
It's not about the.
Yeah, sorry. Game wise, just putting out the content, putting out the streams, and taking things as they come. In real life, well, in a couple of months, 2 to 3 months, I will have moved house to a new part of the UK. I will have better broadband speed than I've got now, so that will be good.
Nice.
And hopefully I'll have some kind of income. Maybe go for that. Maybe go for Ed's job or something. Or I don't know. I don't think so. Yeah, so that's a big new chapter in my life, really, because I'm moving to a place I've never heard of before. It's a little village I've never heard of in my life, but I'm moving there, and I don't know anybody there, so I am really starting from a blank sheet of paper. So the only people I'm going to be familiar with are those on my live stream, which is kind of weird. I've got friends on the live stream, and
but that's also quite refreshing to start from the clean.
I think so. I mean, if it works out well, I mean, I won't know until at least for another 6 months. But if it works out, that I can get and do something that I like, whether it's being employed by someone to do a regular job or to work, self-employed on my own, because my field is IT. I've been doing IT for like 30 years. So maybe I'll do some consultation in small businesses, stuff like that, and see what happens. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it because it's going to be the first time that I'll be in a property without a mortgage. So I'll be mortgage free.
Nice.
So it's not a bad position to be in. So I can't really complain. But I have left because I've spent the last 30 years of my life in Gibraltar, which in the Mediterranean. So I'm used to the warm, hot weather, especially July, August. It's super hot.
Must have been nice. I know that we could go on for another couple of hours, but I think there's RBT Alex ready to come next to the radio. So
Cool.
Fortunately, we have to quit here. But if you have any final words for the Distant Worlds fleet and everyone who's listening to us at the moment,
Yep.
your
Final
words.
thoughts. Yeah. Well, in the Distant Worlds arena, I would say first I want to say well done to all the organisers of Distant Worlds 2, because what they've put together and how professional it's been is amazing. The amount of information that they've given us, all the points of interest, you know, getting everybody into the rosters and everything. Fantastic. These guys certainly know what they're doing when it comes to planning an expedition. And yeah, I couldn't be more pleased to be on this trip. So yeah, hope to see you guys out there in the black sometime.
Yeah, I think we will.
Yeah, we'll have to get together out there.
So FleetCom is the place to fly if you want.
Yes, I'm always in FleetCom. Always in FleetCom. Not open play. Don't go open play. That's my advice. I know people have
final words.
Oh, that is literally final words. That is, don't go in open play. Yeah. No. Well, yeah. Thanks very much, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure. Really enjoyed it.
To have you.
Pleasure has been with us.
It was nice.
Really nice to have you here.
Thank you.
Commodore Rusty Dog, and you can find his YouTube channel with the same name, Commodore Rusty Dog. Go check it out. He has tendency to keep long streams, so if you enjoy long streams, check it out. Commodore Rusty Dog.
Sometimes I need both.
Yeah. If you're ever doing anything monotonous in the game, put one of my streams on in the background.
Yeah.
I think we will end here and let the radio continue with RPG Alex.
Yeah, and next week, don't forget, we will have Turgeon Starstone with a roleplay interview.
Ooh.
Yep. Nagi and I will be interviewing him.
Yeah. So join us next week with Turgeon. So from me, thanks for listening, thanks for watching, thank you Rusty, and thank you Nagi, thank you Earaptor, thank you Michael.
Yes, thank you all.
Thank you and good night.
No problem.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye-bye.